Firefight.
Defend this area at all
Hi, I'm Lars
costs.
Bakken, senior designer at Bungie.
Sage Merrill, senior sandbox designer.
Josh Hamrick, sandbox designer.
Mike Tipple, mission designer.
So today we're going to play a little firefight on Waterfront.
Wow, it is really hard to talk and
Play,
at
yeah.
the same time.
I died just trying to listen to you, so. It's because heroic is legit these days.
I'm dead.
I remember looking at, going back to this particular area, I remember looking at this area pretty early on and thinking when I first looked at this, this was one of the early maps, but aside from Overlook, that I remember looking at in the campaign and saying, this is going to be a really cool firefight space because one thing that was completely different about this space from the others is that it actually, you get surrounded by the Covenant in this one, which I remember, I know Tipple and I talked about that way, way back in the day, and I remember it just plays very different from the other maps because you have an area that you're holding, but that area you're holding is completely surrounded. And when you look at the Covenant being dropped off, they actually drop off in 360 degrees around you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, when Cotton and I were making it, one of the encounters we were kind of going after was the masked encounter from Halo 1.
Oh, awesome.
Which was second mission of the game, right before you get the first Warthog.
You have to
there's a bunch of
defend the
dudes.
Marines, right?
Exactly. And you can see a lot of the same kind of stuff in terms of the geometry, the choke points, and that general feeling of, oh my god, we're surrounded, what are we going to do now? Oh, the other crazy thing about this space is this entire mission takes place above the next mission, which is the Tip of the Spear. So you can start seeing little references to Tip of the Spear in this mission, like this lake that we're on. If you were allowed to go from one end of the lake to another, you would go over a waterfall that ends up outside the facility in Tip of the Spear. And then on the last space, the cliffside space, there's a broken bridge that got wasted by the Covenant. It's right where you start on Tip of the Spear. You can see the fallen rubble in front of you on that mission.
That's awesome. I
didn't realize that either.
Yeah, because these missions used to be the same map. They used to be the same mission. So before we got a little bit crazy with Cotton and started making this mission bigger, it was all on the same geometry.
King of the crazy.
Indeed.
One thing I was thinking about when I'm shooting these guys, for a while I had made the majority of the grunts.
I think I know where you're going with this. I believe I entered a bug.
Yes, I believe Lars may have entered a bug. So anyway, the artist had redone all the grunts, and they looked awesome. And I was going through and setting up the damage, and so I had set them up so that you had to blow off their little face masks before you can headshot them. Well, it turns out that was 80% of them. And so Lars entered a bug that was change them all so that they're one headshot, and I think
I remember walking over to Sage and being like, hey man, this is really not fun because the grunts are very hard to take out now. And normally the grunts were, they show up, they're fodder, they're really fun to fight. They can be really deadly if they show up with the correct weapons, with flat cannons or catches on. And all of a sudden we had turned them into this
an actual
challenge. It was very
different. Anyway, I resolved the bug, but I didn't, as you'll see when you play the game, I did not make them all one headshot.
And we talked about that, which is good. I actually am really happy with what we ended up doing. I'm getting screwed over here in this building, by the way. Anyone have a drop shield? I don't know what's shooting at me, but something with concussion, maybe? Oh, no, it was a Phantom.
Oh, why don't we talk about the Phantom guns, Sage?
Yeah, talk about the Phantom guns.
Yeah.
The guns of doom.
I was just man, this thing needs to be a little bit beefier. And, again with the, it's always surprising how big of a difference in the sort of feel of the game.
Nice work on
you think, from designer, you think, oh, it's all, the actual damage that does whatever. No, actually that has very little to do with it. It's the effects and audio make such a big difference in the perception of danger that even not changing the actual damage, by having new effects and audio, everyone freaked out. They're like, "What happened to the?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a giant dropship. You should be scared of it. Run away."
Yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, there was some agreement, but I probably put it in a little bit too strong.
I think it's
A little
fine.
bit.
Actually, no. I actually will go down on record saying I think it's awesome because
It is for sure now.
the drop ships now suppress you, and yeah, you're scared when they show up. You're like, okay, I should be not on this roof right now
Yeah, I'm
because
in a bad
I
spot.
am scared about what this thing is going to do to me.
Right. You're scared. You move. You know. You move away. They suppress you some, but they don't. They also don't instantly kill you. Like it felt like they were doing before. Can someone kill that
up?
sniper?
Yeah, and if anyone wonders where I got the idea for the legendary snipers in this encounter, it's Firefight.
Nice.
I saw these guys in here like last minute. I'm like, oh my god, that's evil. I'm totally putting it in.
Awesome. Was that it? And then Tipple called me over and didn't tell me what was happening, just to get me to scream like a girl. It had to be like 1 in the morning.
Oh god.
It was the scariest thing ever. I was like, what? There's nobody in here. And then I started getting fried.
Yeah, well, originally those snipers up on the cliff actually...
There's a hunter standing right behind me.
They had needle rifles, and I remember people being like, what the is going on? I'm getting hit, and I don't... And I'm like, you know what'll solve that is giving them
Did you see that?
focus rifles.
Help.
There's a lot of dudes in that room with you.
Thank you, Tipple.
Right on.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I'm still gonna get killed.
Oh,
Way over
yeah, I'm
here,
in the bed.
So yeah, what are you doing
Me.
over there?
Getting killed is what I just said.
So we hope you guys enjoyed watching us play horribly.
Yeah.
Sorry we're a little bit rusty, but
Don't
got some
judge
good
us.
insights, I think, on
Some
cool.
some fun facts, some
Yeah.
insight, some
Yeah, a few
how-tos.
things we covered, but yeah, the game obviously coming out soon. We're all super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it online with you guys.
Absolutely.
See you the 14th.
Objective compromised and under Covenant control.
Game over.